3 world champions, all of which have won more than 1 world championship. Fittipaldi, PK, and of course, Sao Paulo is known for is its largest international population.
Oh yes, we're back. Welcome to a brand new season of Premier Sim Gaming Leagues with me, Taka Logan, and Tom. Tom? Hello? Tom's not here. Oh dear. Well, I guess I'm on my own this time. Welcome to a brand new season, Season 34, and this is the F3 division on PlayStation. As you see, we have got a clean slate. Everyone on 0 points, of course. That's how we roll. And we're starting the first round here in Brazil, of course. The Sao Paulo Interlagos circuit, 4.2 kilometers. One of the fastest, most exciting races on the calendar. I do believe we were supposed to go to Las Vegas next week. Unfortunately, that is not going to be happening due to, let's say, technical difficulties. But it's not going to be happening. I believe it's going to be Hungary instead. I'll keep you updated about that. We are got another new track on the calendar as well, Qatar. So keep out for that. It's a pretty good track, I have to say. I love driving it in time trial. So here we go, qualifying, 18 minutes to set the fastest time, and the fastest will determine the order. So we'll be going from fastest time to slowest time, and anyone who didn't set a time, of course. So here we go. We have 20 drivers. We have going to introduce right now the first drivers making their way out to start, and I believe the first driver to set a lap will be Riley Mackay of the McLaren. As I bring up my notes. And I will. I actually have another commentator joining me, and that will be Harvey A when he is ready. I'm just going to run you through the drivers as Riley Mackay makes his lap. Don't think we need an introduction to what track this is, because you know how this track works. So here we go. Here are the allocations for F3 and PlayStation. Oh dear. So Red Bull, we've got Christian Block and Time BB8. Ferrari, Marcus Costa and Tom. Mercedes, Cherno and Ren. Aston Martin, Lickleblocks and Toxic Tomato. McLaren, Devin and Riley Mackay. Alpine, Mohammed and Danielle. Williams, Rich Hullett and Im Sapala. Correct me if I spelled that wrong. Alfa Romeo, Dalopad and Pedro Vasquez. Haas, Twist and Moustache. AlphaTauri, LRB, and Edrex. As Riley sets the first time, 107.657, pretty decent time, I have to say. 108.316 from his teammate Devin, the two McLarens being the early birds this session, 14.5 minutes to go. Of course, just like the last game, you don't have to start on a tyre you sit, as Ren goes to top with 107.563 in the Merc. The reserves we have are Top G, Mateo, Spanias, Marios, and Tedo. Twist is unavailable and therefore will be replaced by Marios. Mateo is also on holiday, as well as Twist. So he has been replaced by... if I can find it. Mateo has been... actually, Mateo is a reserve, sorry. So he couldn't have made it anyway. We have 12 drivers on the board. As I mentioned, Rich Hullett is also unavailable due to work. He is being replaced by Spanias. Top G is as reserve and is also unavailable. So it does look like we only have 2 missing out from the proper grid. So the top time goes to Renz right now. We have 15 drivers on the board. LRB and Marios on the track right now. Sitting a lap, Toxic Tomato, Marcus Costa, and Christian Block also on the track, not set a lap. So So we've got a few big names here. I have to remember, Toxic Tomato's been around for quite a while. BB-8 has been competitive in the lower divisions and has now worked his way up. Tom, of course, I do believe that is one of the old Toms. And oh dear, now Alpine double stack. Not what you want. There's nothing much going on, so I'm going to just invite Harvey, who's going to be joining me in replacement of Tom Cairns, because it was supposed to be me and Tom Cairns, but Tom's not here this week because public transport is a BTCH. I think you can say that. Oh well, I said it now. Right, so I'm going to invite. So 1 second, please. Okay, we're back, and it still looks like that Renz is at the top of the table. So, looks like we have 3 drivers still to settle at. Tomato, Marcus Costa, and Christian Block. Mind you, this season of PSGL is brought to you by GT Omega. Of course, there is a nice little code you can get. If you can bring it up, please, thank you. Our title season sponsor for Season 34 and beyond is GT Omega, the leading manufacturer of gaming peripherals. From gaming chairs to sim racing cockpits, you can improve your gaming setup with GT Omega. You can check them out at the gtomega.co.uk, and if you use PSGL code at the checkout, you get 5% off on any GT Omega products. So that's a cool thing to check out. There's also a giveaway going on for, well, I think it's closed now, but there was a giveaway for a Chill Blast PC. Of course, we're teaming up with Chill Blast, the fantastic custom gaming PC company. They make some fantastic kit, believe me. It makes me really want to get one because I still have a Mac. So Riley Mackay on his way around to start another lap. Got 17 people watching. Welcome to you all. Just a little adjustment I need to make. I try to adjust the sound on this because when it's in my ears, when I'm doing the onboard and it's in my ears, it's really loud. Not very ideal. Probably have one ear out. As I was saying, yeah, it looks like the 2 Alpines up there in 3rd and 4th. A good start for them. Mercedes very polarizing. And look who we have here. If he's in the voice chat yet. I wasn't going to say Tom's joined, but not Tom, Ace. Not Tom, he's on the track. Riley Mackay trying to get to the top, and he does. A 107.428 for him. As Harvey, is Harvey here?
Yes, I am not here, Logan.
Yes, here he is. For those of you unaware, me and him somehow ran into each other at Silverstone. Yes, we were both at Silverstone. It was an absolute blast, except the race, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. We're halfway through the session. Riley Mackay's just set the top time, ahead of Danielle in the Alpine, just 64 thousandths behind. Many drivers leaving the pits lane now to start their hot lap. Of course, they've got, let's say, a couple runs left, wouldn't you say, Harvey?
Yeah, you could see 2 or maybe 3 if a few off enough. By the way, can you comment yes instead of Harvey, please?
Oh, yes.
It's all good, though, don't worry.
I rarely put the comments up because I'm too focused on the action. Sorry.
Oh, good, don't worry. But yeah, you could see 2 more ones coming in, people coming out for the... is this the 2nd or the 3rd one?
2nd, I think.
Yeah. With the way the Brazil is, with the very low timing, only a 110 for even a slow lap sometimes. You're able to get 4 laps in most of the time.
Yes, pretty much. And Spania's just missing out on setting a 107.5. He set a 107.504, I do believe. No, 505 actually. I don't know why it says 504. Doing the maths, I make that 77 pounds. It's down. They're probably doing it by smaller margins than that. Anyway, that puts him up to third for the Williams. So look at this. We've got all the top 5 are different teams. I wished it was like that in the real world, but you have to make do of it.
I mean, sometimes you get good racing, sometimes you don't. But then again, there's always Max.
Yeah, I always have this theory that Max is going to do better. When Max is out of the equation, the racing's much better. Anyway.
But, yeah, we move back to this.
Yes. I should mention, what was that there? Is that a spinner? Has the car gone off? Dado pads went off the track, presumably not to mess around with the drivers who are on a lap, such as BB8 in the Red Bull, making his way around the final corner. And hopefully that car in front of him, I'm not sure who that is. It looks like it's Williams. Yeah, it's Williams. And he's going to cross the line. Is he going to set the fastest time? Oh no, so close. 300ths down and change. But still a fantastic effort. And therefore we now have 7 teams taking up the top 7 spots.
And messing that up, it could have been 8, but then again, he's there. But currently, some good time is being set. I think Ren's on his last lap as well, slightly improved, but I'm sure that was. I did notice as well, VRT Mustache on P15 had improved on his last lap, went from, I think it was P17 to P15, while there's other drivers getting their lap times in. Christian Bloch, one of them, P17 for his first proper lap. 7.9.
Yeah, 107.9. It is only half a second down, crazily enough, so it is pretty astonishing. These times are so close. I think F1 Esports only gets closer. I think the worst time was like, 3/10 or something. It was ridiculous. But anyway.
I think it was 2.7 at one point.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. I should mention, it's 6/10 Sapala is slower by, but that's going to change because he goes up to 107.652, and everyone is in the 107s.
Yeah, and again, not exactly surprising considering these are F3 drivers. I would expect practice to be in. Has someone just started lap yet? It was Devon has just crossed the line, going into P7.
Yeah, Riley has backed off his lap, so he is not going to improve. Devon is on his lap, I think he just said. I can't really tell how much time is left because we keep getting yellow flags. This is the one thing I hate about this game. It shows the lap counter.
Edrex is retired.
Oh, Edrex is, that's in...
What's in turn
That's
7?
in Curva, that's Ferradura. I don't know what's happening. He's retired on track? Oh dear.
Oh no, that is a shootout retirement because I think that car is moving.
Oh yeah, it
I'm
is
not so sure
moving.
what that was. It might have been beached on the curb, but then again, sometimes you do get beached on the curb, you can't move.
Oh
But
dear.
your AI is able to. There's 4 minutes left to go in the session, by the way, so final laps will be coming in shortly.
Indeed. Let me just check. Yeah, Edrex was sent on the curb. He was beached on the curb. That's quite unbelievable. But that's this game. It's not going to be perfect. We try and make it as good as we can. No drivers on the track, by the way. But the video games are never perfect. I mean, look at Mario Kart Wii. You could just skip the entirety of Grumble Volcano.
Oh yeah.
But
When
this
you
isn't
just
Mario
take
Kart.
the jump. Is it just me or Sipper? I'm sorry, I don't really have his name. Pete shows in the pits, but his EOS and everything is changing.
I don't have the telemetry on because I think it interferes.
He's just gone down to. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's just for me, but he's just gone down to P20.
Who? Imsapala?
Yeah.
No, he's P8 on my screen. Definitely
Yeah, I
P8.
think that's just a slight glitch because I can't actually get onto his board anyway. You know the way you can see the people in the pit still looking at the garage? I can't go onto him.
Try rejoining. I mean, that might work.
Hang on,
That
I'm just
might be a
checking
glitch on your end.
restarting.
It's totally fine on my end. I can't imagine he's...
Probably is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you're streaming, I'll actually always start my game because I just had
Oh yeah, please
session
do.
before this.
Yeah, that probably is. And we hear both on computer. Thank you, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, if that is the case. How many episodes of that have there been? At least 1,000, I know that. I'll stick to watching Evangelion on Netflix, like Drive to Survive. Anyways, Spanias is on his lap. Everyone's on their outlap for the final lap, including Mohammed, who's just started his lap. I apologise if I'm causing any epilepsy here, but you know we have to be chopping and changing. I can't just go on the screen and just change it like this because it does block a lot of the action that's happening on track. And Spanias has come across, just taking everything on the inside. Oh, he's so close! 200th. He used every bit of track he could, but he couldn't get within the time of Riley Mackay. And speaking of him, he is coming across the line. Riley going to set the benchmark even higher. Is he? No, he's on an outlap. Sorry, he's on an outlap. And this will be his final chance to set the bar even higher. 1 minute and 7 seconds left of this session. Do we have any takers for pole position? Will it be Devon? Let's find out. He comes across the line to start his final run around the Interlagos circuit, home of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Used to be an 8-kilometre track until they cut it down to about half of that. And you know what? I'm glad they did. This is much more fun. It is heralded by many fans across the world. Toxic Tomato goes to 7th place on the leaderboard. 4 tenths faster than he was last time. Under a tenth slower than Riley Mackay. These are slim margins. Slim margins. It could be anyone's for the taking pole position. Here comes BB8 around the final corner. Start his final lap. And he needs to get a big one in. Stonks. He needs stonks and nothing else but stonks. How is Riley faring in his final run? He's faster than last time, but not by much. It is a 107.466. He's slower than last time. So that's the benchmark to beat. The next driver coming across the line should be LRB, but he only goes up to 6th. Only 6th. Double pad coming around the final corner. Pedro Vasquez fails to get into the top 10. Not what he wanted. Danielle coming across the finish line. Marcus Costa sets the fastest lap at 107.343, but Danielle doesn't. He is 1/10 slow. That is a blazing time for Marcus Costa, by the way. Harvey, are you back in?
Yes, I am. Just watching on board with Pigeon at the moment. 1,000 Stein in Sector 1. What is the Sector 2 going to be? He's 49,000 up. And get this, he's currently looking at P2, front row of the grid. Can he nail the final sector? Not many corners, only one braking point to DRS open. Make sure you don't invalidate over that line up to the finish line. It is P2, like I thought, but it isn't enough to beat Marcus Costa. It is just under a tenth off his Renz. Goes into P2.
And it's another 107.3, a stonking lap, but not good enough. Tom will be the last driver across the line. He's going on a slow one. And that will end the session. That means Marcus Costa in the Ferrari. Actually, is it? Yeah, Marcus Costa in the Ferrari is on pole position. The Australian has done it in the first round. 22 thousandths ahead of Rent in the Mercedes. And Tijan in third in the Red Bull, the only driver not to get into the first driver not to get into the 107.3s. But look how close this is. The slowest time was 553 milliseconds off. 553. That's just over half a second behind Marcus Costa. Fine margins indeed. No grid penalties, thankfully. So here we go. The first round of the new PSGL season on this new F1 game. Well, I say it's new, but it's just the same one with additional add-ons. That is true, technically. So here we go. I do not believe we get the formation lap, and it looks very dull and damp. We could be getting rain, or is it just a sad day? I'm not sure. Are you ready? And we've lost Harvey.
I would say it's just overclouded. Sorry, I was just restarting my headset for some reason. Just
darn headsets. I've got a wired one.
It's only a power off and back on.
Exactly. Thankfully, I don't see Brad Pitt around. He's probably strike action. I actually saw Brad Pitt racing around.
He's at Wimbledon. He's at Wimbledon.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was at Wimbledon. It's over now. Congratulations, Carlos Alcaraz. Rafa Nadal's successor?
Yeah, they celebrated in the exact same way as well. 15 years apart, I want to say.
Yeah, they beat the big guns to win it as well, Djokovic.
Well, then again, it's been 20 years since, well, one of the top four didn't win. Then again, 20 years ago,
Tom Cairns was back in the lobby. Oh no. Harvey, what do we do?
Is he? I have not seen this.
No, he's not back in the lobby. He's back home.
Oh.
Do you want to swap around then?
If he gets on, then I'm fine with
Yeah, he is on. Do you want to... Sorry. Thank you for joining us, though. I didn't think you'd be coming home.
It is all good. You never know. One time I might be able to see you guys again.
Alright. Sorry, man.
All good. Don't worry.
See you later.
See you.
Right, we do have Tom Cairns in the booth somehow. And here he is. And guess what, Tom? The race is about to begin. The first race of the new season is lights out. Away we go. And Marcus Costa leads them away into the distance. And Ren's just behind. He's been left in the dust as they come around in the first corner. And it is a fantastic start for Marcus Costa. Renz and BB8 breaking away from the field as the chaos happens behind them. Down through the Curva do Sol. And now at the City of the Lago we go. It is Marcus Costa, Renz and BB8. There's your strategies there. It looks like medium soft or hard medium, wherever you'd like it. And it is a fantastic start for Costa. Hello, Tom Cairns. Welcome to the booth. We briefly had Harvey in the booth to cover for you because I didn't think you'd come for you. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling okay. I've had a long journey back, but now we are ready to go for the first race of the season, which we are on the opening lap of. And it seems though that Costa is leading the way in the Ferrari, followed by Renz in second place. It's Tyne ahead of Mackie, Daniela LLB, and it's Toxic Tomato, Apoel, Devin, and Mr. Parla rounding out the top 10 so far as they make their way through Yonsao.
Good battle between Cherno and Moustache happening for 16th place coming into Young Cow, and Cherno takes it down and takes 16th place. Meanwhile at the front, and Moustache is actually falling back, by the way. He's just fallen behind Dado Pad as well. This is not a good start. He has been wanting it all. And as Marcus Costa leading away, starting at lap number 2. And as a battle behind him, that looks like Applewell and Devin, yes it is, and now Apoel is going to be hounded by his teammate Imsa Pala as they head towards the City of Lago once again, side by side, but it looks like Sapala is going to let him keep the place for now. Oh, and he might have hit the back of him too, and they've got to be careful though because Pedro Vasquez is there as well. And it looks like a 2/10 gap between Riley and 10BB8. Riley, of course, starting 4th place in this one. He briefly had provisional pole position for quite a while until the likes of Marcus, Ren and BB8 topped it as they make their way through the slowest part of the track now it is still a Marcus Costa lead. Lots of chunking and changing going around. As look at Cherno, he is on a roll. He's already made 5 positions ready. Dadopad has lost 10 as Christian Block is side by side with Marius for 16th place. And Christian Block, who was last at one point, is now making his way up to 16th. A good recovery after horrendous qualifying. And Riley Mackay has taken 3rd place from BB8, Tom.
He has done, and he's up into the podium positions. Behind the Ferrari and the Mercedes he goes. So Mackie making up a position ahead of the Red Bull. Daniela is closing in, hoping that he'll get in on the outs as the DRS is enabled, hence why you can see the rear wing flaps are opening as they make their way through. Decides de Largo. Costa still in the lead, but for how long? Because Renz is right up his gearbox.
Right up his gearbox indeed. The gap is 2 tenths and closing down as they speak. Coming through the slowest part of the circuit, that is the Pinarino right now. Turn number 9 coming through is Marcus Costa. He's going to be feeling the heat of the Silver Arrows, or as I say, the Black Panther of Ren. It's been black for a couple seasons, bar 2022. Of course, went back to silver briefly, and they realised it was bad luck, so they went to black, allegedly. That's just making it up as I go along. It doesn't look very gloomy. It doesn't look very good in the air. It looks very overcast, but I'm not sure if that's a threat of rain. I wasn't told of any threat of rain, but here we go. The first chance to Renz to strike while the iron is hot. Going on the inside, Marcus Costa going on the outside. No challenge from Marcus. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve as Renz takes the lead for now on lap number 4 here at Sao Paulo.
Lap 4 indeed, and Costa down to 2nd place, but he won't be too down about it at this point because he'll have the DRS behind. How long will it be before he decides to make the overtake? He's sitting back for the time. He feels it's not worth going for it because if he starts fighting with Renz, then Mackie can take advantage to get through. So the drivers are settling into the race now. No incidents so far, it seems. Everyone's still going. Everyone within a chance of salvaging something from this race. Renz in charge for now, at least. I saw the tyres at the beginning of the race. 18 of the 20 drivers have started this race on the hards. Cherno and Christian Block are the only drivers that haven't started on the hards. They started on the softs, so it shouldn't be too long before we start seeing those two making their way into the pit line. This is normal at this end of the PSGL pecking order because we tend to see the drivers on the hard tyres to begin with before they make the switch to the mediums at around about half distance, so they get all of the benefit from the medium compound when they pit in.
And looks like Marcus Costa is going to try and take the lead back from Renz as they cross the line for the 4th time today. And into the lead he goes. Cherno sitting the fastest lap as well, but it will be worth El Zippo right now. He's not in the top 10. You only get the fastest lap for making it in the top 10. Point structure is 16, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 for the top 10. And the fastest lap for the driver that sets the fastest lap as long as they're in the top 10. So it's going to be close racing all season and lots of points on offer as we are commencing lap number 5 and through the Pinarino. We're about to come. Marcus Costa in the lead as he started. Riley Mackay trying to hold on and see if he can get any closer to Renz, see if he can struggle a move. And by the way, does this remind you of something? 5 cars separated by 20 metres and they're the exact same ones from Britain 2022. Quite funny that. A McLaren, a Ferrari, a Mercedes, a Red Bull and an Alpine, albeit in a different order. And there's an incident back there, Tom, it looks like.
Mohammed has gone round for a spin. He was running, I think it was towards the back anyway. I think he was running in 14th position before he had that spin. So that's him down the order. So he may want to think about his strategy to try and maximise his chances in this race now because he's left himself with too much to do. Costa's still in the lead. Then Renz in 2nd place with Mackie 3rd. Time 4th, Daniela, LRB, Toxic Tomato, Devon, Applewell and Mr. Parlett rounding out the top 10 at the moment. 2 Williams in the top 10. It's not often we have been saying that this year, but having said that, for those who are wondering, it is equal car performance. So it's very much down to driver skill, no matter what car they are driving in.
Absolutely. Well, it was almost not the case when we had discovered a crucial bug at the start of the game cycle. It was discovered that the tyre wear on each of the cars in equal performance were indeed unequal. So as a result, we had to have a workaround, and instead we had to run the F1 World car, which, by the way, surely had no tyre wear differences, considering that is basically the same car, considering we are running on equal machinery. So they then fixed the problem, Codemasters, so now we're back to the normal cars, and here comes Renz on Marcus Costa, take back the lead. He's decided to go for it this time, and not back off. So back in the lead goes Renz, but as more they battle, the more closer the drivers behind get. And now Marcus Costa's going to try and take the lead back with Riley Mackay, a distant passenger. And he sees Marcus Costa take back the lead. This is fantastic stuff from both the drivers at the front. And it's only going to just heat up here in Interlagos.
Highly experienced drivers these. It is F3 after all. We've got 14 tiers in the PlayStation category in the PSGL this season, which it's not the most we've ever had. I remember one season, I think it was season 29, we had 15 tiers contested. Yeah. We shrunk it down for a little bit, but we seem to be back on the rise, it seems, for the first season on the F1 23 game cycle. And it's very much a close battle between the top ends of the tiers. That's what makes the PSGL so special. Over 36,000 subscribers in the YouTube channel of it. Yeah, absolutely insane. If you haven't already subscribed, do make sure you do that, and you can keep right up to date with all the PSGL races as they are happening, particularly on Monday nights when we've got the top 8 tiers of the PlayStation category taking stage. Tonight is Brazil, obviously, so we'll have obviously had Brazil. It was going to be Las Vegas for the following round, but that has been changed to Bahrain, unfortunately. It was a shame because I was looking forward to that, but given some particular circumstances with the track, we felt that it was wise to keep it fair for everyone, that it was best to go to a different track that we know for certain is going to provide good racing and keep it fair with the curbs, etc. So we go on then, Logan.
I thought it was Hungary they were going to replace. Oh, I'm thinking of what races in Formula 1 this week. Oops, yeah. I think you're right. It is Bahrain, which is a fantastic track, by the way. Especially the outer circuit. I wish they put it in the game, and I wish they put it at 87 laps like the real world, but no, they didn't. They put it at the... Oh, we got an incident there, and I believe it's involved 2 cars. It's Daropad and Marios who have spun off, but it looks like an incident in Sector 3, and that's not good for either driver. That sent them right down the order as Renz starts to close up again. Is he going to go for a move? No, not this time.
No, he's decided to sit back. I think he knows that if he starts fighting with him or trying to go through, I think he'll only try and do it if he's sort of pretty much alongside, about halfway down the straight, to maybe even go for it. But on this occasion, he decided to just slot in behind and not go for it for the time being. We're on lap 9 of the race now, 25% mark of the event, as Little Blocks decides to make a pit stop and go for the mediums to try and complete an undercut. He was running in 17th place before he came into the pits, so if he has any chance of salvaging something from this race, he may have to try something different or try and perform an undercut on a number of the drivers.
So, pretty much a quarter way through the race, and looks like the order has pretty much stayed very stagnant over the past few laps. There's been a bit of changing between Costa and Renz, but still, Marcus Costa started first, is currently first, and hopefully stays in first for the entirety of this race. Only one pit stop so far, and that's involved Little Blocks, who decided to choose mediums. And here we go once again, and Renz gets into the lead once again, but here comes Riley Mackay on the inside of the Ferrari driver, and Costa goes back to third. Not what he wanted. He's been taken down by 2 drivers, and there's an incident at the back. Oh, it's a big one, it looks like.
Multiple cars in there, Logan. It looks like Mr. Parler, Apoel's dropped down the order too. Yeah, it was quite a hectic first corner there. I don't know how that had happened. We'll probably find out later after the race in case there are any post-race investigations happening. But it looks like Renz has kept hold. Oh, he's taken the lead now. Mackey's in second position ahead of Costa. So Costa's down to third place from the race lead, but he won't be too bothered about that at this stage. He'll be thinking more about the pit stops.
And all of a sudden, those battles up front have brought the field much closer together as Devon off camera is overtaken by Toxic Tomato for 7th place. Not what Riley wants to have in mind, considering that they want to play some games, but he's coming back for more, is Devon. And the inside of Young Cara and gets 7th place from Toxic Tomato, who goes wide there, not what he wanted. But here we go, the real battle. Up front, Riley Mackay wants a piece of the action and he wants the lead. He started out in 4th and he's going to challenge for the lead. Into the first corner we go, and into the lead goes the McLaren driver. Just like F1 Esports, McLaren on top as there's a battle behind Daniel and BB8, and BB8 loses out massively to Daniel and LRB as well. And here comes Red again. He wants the lead back and takes the lead back as he will. He knew what game he was playing there and he took advantage of Riley Mackay. And Riley stuck in 2nd once again, but he'll be coming back for more, you bet he will.
It's almost like they're trying to be kind to each other, isn't it? Every time they go into turn 1 and turn 4. Ren's back in the lead in this game of musical chairs. Mackie will be confident enough to sit in there behind me. He gets tapped by the Ferrari. That was a little bit marginal that from Costa. He got away with it, but that has given Renz a little bit of breathing space.
Indeed he has. That is not good news for Mark. Oh no, there's a car being pushed back. That's Danielle. He's been pushed by, looks like LRB. It's starting to get a bit frisky here around the field entirely, and BB8 and Devon are now going to clash, as well as LRB. This might end in disaster if they're not careful. Free wide into the first corner, and it's Devon and BB8 getting into battle into the first corner. Come on, change that camera angle, and BB8 takes it, and Toxic Tomato and LRB are battling now. Toxic Tomato is getting overtaken by the other AlphaTauri of Edrix, as there's a battle for 2nd place. It is Ren that takes 2nd place. Meanwhile, Edrix and Toxic Tomato going to battle again, and it looks like Toxic Tomato is stuck in an AlphaTauri sandwich.
All hell was breaking loose there. I couldn't quite keep up with all the action. There was too much going on. So, yeah, but luckily I think they managed to get through that without too much contact there. But you can see a bridge in the gap between those in the top 3 and Tyne in 4th place. So Tyne is the man ahead of this DRS train, with Devon behind and LRB in the AlphaTauri. And yeah, it could all get a little bit hectic from here on in. The question is, when will Christian Blott and Chono decide to pit in? Because they are currently on the soft compound, and we're getting towards the third race distance mark. So I would imagine they may decide to head for the pits this lap to maybe do an undercut, although they may decide to stay out for now. I think what they are doing is they want to remain in the slipstream and have the benefit of the DRS and not lose as much tyre life, you know, wandering around the corners in the same as they normally would do without DRS, if that makes sense. So, Block in 9th, Cherno in 10th, and we are watching Renz and Costa close in on Mackie, who is in the race lead.
Oh no! We've lost Devon! Devon is out! Him and LRB collided, and it's a safety car, not surprised there. Devon is out of the race, and Riley Mackay, the race leader, is on his own. He's got no one to help him. His teammate is out of the race.
Well, a terrible shame for Devon. That was torrid luck. I'm just looking back on the stream exactly what happened. I think we may have just missed it. Oh, no, he got hit from behind by the AlphaTauri of LRB by the looks of it. Or Edrix, it was one of the two. I'm just having a look back to see who that was. It was LRB that ran into him as they exited Descida de Largo. So Devon, the innocent passenger in that, he may feel that LRB just didn't quite notice in time that he was taking the line into that fast left-hander that followed, and LRB just couldn't stop the car from running into him. So that's a terrible shame, as we are seeing a lot of the drivers heading for the pits. The question is, who is prepared to take the gamble and stay out and try something different? It seems like pretty much everyone is doing it. This has not played into the hands of the likes of Little Blocks, because he's already pitted and he'll have to adhere to the delta, of which he'll have to go at a certain speed without breaking it, of which you would get a drive-through penalty if you're unlucky.
Everyone is in the pits, and when I mean everyone, I mean everyone. Everyone is in the pits for medium tires. That is... I don't think I've ever seen that before. No, not everyone's in for medium tires. Mohammed's on softs. What?
He's probably gambling on a safety car coming out later on. If that's the case, then that may come to his aid. But he's going to have to pass some cars to make the strategy work. Otherwise, he's going to fall too far out of sync. I suppose what it could depend is how long this safety car stays out for. It'll probably stay out for maybe like a couple of laps, I would say, a maximum of 3.
Yeah.
It's a short track after all, it's Interlagos, so it could possibly be 3, but given where Little Blocks is, the last car on the lead lap, I would expect will go in at the end of the next lap. So a recap on where we are then. So Mackey's still in the race lead, Renz and Costa. So the top 3 is as you were before the safety car was deployed. Tyne is in 4th place, and then you've got Toxic Tomato, LRB and Christian Block, who has gambled brilliantly actually, as has Cherno, because both of them had started on the soft compound tyres and have gone into a set of mediums. So they've made the strategy work from where they started on the grid, those two, and can now go to the end on the medium compound. Tom is in 10th place. We haven't spoken too much about him, I don't think, but he's right in there and can salvage some good points. Daniel's got another chance there in 12th place after his spin, and we've got Apoel is running in 14th. He was in the top 10 earlier, but now he's out of the top 10. The driver with the fastest lap of the race currently would be Little Blocks, but he's down in P19, so he would not get the point for the fastest lap because he's outside the top 10. So those who are wondering what the point system is in the PSGL, in case you are new watching this, the race winner would get 16 points, second we get 12, third we get 10, and then it's 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 down to 10th place and the point for the fastest lap. So a driver could come away with a maximum of 17 points from it, and I suppose the whole point of this point system in comparison to real life Formula 1 is to help keep the championship close between everyone, essentially.
Yeah, take note, Formula 1. In my opinion, with all the battles happening down in the back, they should also award points to every driver, but that's not the way it is. I think they want to encourage merit, but at the same time, if there's points up for grabs, we might as well have, because if for the teams that score 0 points, the positions are determined by their highest position finished outright in any race. So if you finished 12th in every race, but another driver's finished last, but finished 11th in one race, they get the point. They get the position, which is quite unfair. I think they should award points to every driver. Of course, they'd have to make it tiered, and obviously, but that's another story for another day, because safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. So here we go. Riley Mackay is going to lead the field away on what is essentially the Great Reset here at Sao Paulo. I've been Silverstone, that's why. Now remember, you can't be side by side with another driver. You've got to keep a car a length of distance away. No double filing. It has to be single filing. He's pulled the throttle down at the pit entry, and we're back underway. Lap 16 here at Interlagos. 2 laps to go, and immediately Toxic Tomato is going to cause a match here with BB8 and is side by side, and team gets ahead somehow, and there's a caution behind it. Looks like that is Marios that has had an incident, and now Toxic Tomato trying to battle again with BB8 into the inside of the city of Interlagos, but he goes wide. Has to hold on, he's still fighting with Tyne, who nearly gets the move done, and he's still behind though. Toxic Tomato gets the move. What a fantastic challenge from Toxic Tomato, and it's worked, and now LRB has Tyne all over him. Tyne has LRB all over him, I should say.
It's a good move there from Toxic. He made the overtake brilliantly work, and Tyne down to 5th position as a result. We are looking at a few moves. I think Mr. Parlour is battling with Devilbud for P15 as we speak, but we want to keep an eye on what's happening up front. There's not too much that's changed up front. Mackie is still in the race lead, but for how long? Will Renz go for it now? He's in the slipstream. There's no DRS yet, of course, but Renz decides to not go for it. He's sitting back.
Yes, he is. I think his setup is more suited to straight line speed, which is a big advantage here, especially Renz, and maybe more, I have to say. Riley probably more focused on the cornering of this track. Of course, there's no perfect setup. Well, there is, but no two setups are identical, I imagine, unless you're just taking them from sim racing setups, that is. Hello. But still, Marcus Costa needs to find some fractions of a second to try and get back up in this race lead, because remember, he started this race on pole position. Everyone is on pretty much the same gist. 3 laps of medium so far. Mohammed stopped, but looks a little earlier. So not almost identical, but you pretty much get the point. It is 3 laps of medium tyres, and they will, I believe, get to the end of the race by the looks of it.
Mackie keeping his nose in front of the rest of the pack. Everyone's got a chance of winning this. For your information, everyone is on the mediums as Mackie sets a new fastest lap of the race. We're now on lap 18 out of 36. And I think it could end up just going right to the end where we are seeing DRS moves being done. Having said that, if you're further down the order, you want to get it done sooner.
And speaking of the DRS, it is all open now. It is all open season. And Ren has now closed up to a quarter of a second on Riley Mackay, who is still in the lead. He briefly had pole position provisionally in qualifying until it was snatched away by Marcus Costa at the end of the session. He wants to hold on to that as much as he can as he sees his engine compatriot come right up at him. 4 tenths the gap coming into the slowest part of the track. Coming out of sector 2 now. And there's a move for 11th here for Danielle, who had a spin earlier. And I think was it LRB? I'm not sure. It might have been, but I can't be too sure. Christian Block, by the way. I think the safety car really played into his hands. He's up to 7th now. Remember, he started on the soft tyre as it's building up in the lead again. But no moves made, Tom.
No, he thought about it, but I just thought if he went for it there, then Costa would have lined him up for the pass on the Retro Aposta. So Ren's staying behind the McLaren once again. I wouldn't expect anything. We are seeing an overtake going on further behind involving a Williams, I think, unless it's... Yeah, it is a Williams. He thought about a move on the Haas in front of Moustache, but he cannot find a way through this time around.
He can, but it looks like Riley is going to hold on to the lead for now. As we fade through the field, there's a battle between Dadopad and Spanias. This for 15th. And a bit of wheel banging there coming at the Pinarino. And is still battling heading into the next corner. On the inside we'll have Dadopad, and is not pushed wide. It's fair racing there, argy bargy, but still fair racing. And still battling heading into Yungkow. Keeping it fair, keeping it clean. Fantastic driving from these two, even though it's for 15th. And Dadopad trying to get his nose into Spanias, heading towards the corner. But we've got the battle for the lead happening here, but it still remains the same. Going back, it looks like that Dadopad is going to go on the inside. Oh no, that's not clean anymore. Spanias has spun, and that's the last thing he wants. But here we go, Ren's for the lead in the inside that he had his nose in, but he couldn't get through and take the lead. And Marcus Costa, as a result, is going to be hounding him into the slowest part of the section as we have our first track limits penalty rewarded to Dadopad, 3 seconds, and that cannot be removed. I know it sounds really wrong, but it isn't. And there's another yellow flag, I'm not sure for what, but it's gone now. So we'll just ignore that. But still, Riley holding onto the lead despite the massive challenge by Ren, and Marcus Costa just playing as an innocent bystander, as I have to speak.
So Ren thinking about what to do at this point. He won't want to go for it now, obviously, because there's too many laps left in the race to dice it out. And how generous is Mackie feeling here? Well, Ren's is going for it this time. He's read what Mackie's trying to do and think, do you know what, I'm not going to hang around, I'm just going to go through. So Renz gets through into the race lead once more. Mackie sitting in behind, but what is Costa thinking about? And we've got a car in the pits, there's Delopad, and that's his race over,
Here we
unfortunately.
go! Riley keeps the lead. Riley keeps the lead. He lost the lead for about 3 corners, and now he's got it back again. But Red ain't done yet! Oh, look at that. Marcus Costa nearly runs into the back of them. Scary, edge of your seat stuff, and it's only lap 21.
It's like I was going back to saying about the musical chairs stuff, Logan. This is absolutely brilliant to see. It's a game of chess, as it ever is in the PSGL. You can't blame the drivers for doing that, though. It is part of the whole game of it. So Mackie in front again, but how long will Renz wait it out? How long will Costa wait it out?
If they wait around too long, the rest of the field may catch up, and Moustache has had a spin. Moustache has had a spin at Young Cow, and it looks like that Ren's second place maybe become a first place because he's going to dive down the inside and takes the lead again. And now Riley Mackay's on the threat from Marcus Costa. Marcus Costa coming around the Curve of Soul. He'll get the DRS open as faster as he possibly wanted to. And now it's going to be a freeway battle for the lead. Oh, and Marcus Costa's run into the back of Riley Mackay. And does he have damage? Toxic Tomato is going to challenge for his podium position. Podium position. Does he have damage? I think he might have got away with it. He stays in third, but that was a scary moment for the Ferrari driver, and the other Ferrari driver is suffering. There's chaos happening in the back.
It is, and it looks like Tom's front wing is damaged too on the right-hand side. So that'll be him probably off into the pit lane to get a new nose cone fitted on. So that's effectively his race done, really, for Tom, unless we get another safety car. So it's double trouble there for Ferrari, it seems. Costa ran onto the grass on the entry to the Lager to avoid the Mercedes by the looks of it, but I think he got away with it on that occasion. Ren's in the race lead, Mackie second with Marcus Costa in third. Toxic Tomato had a time. It's the two Alpha Tauris of LRB and Edrix, Daniel Block and Vasquez in the top 10 right now, and Tom, as I thought, is in the pits to get a nose fitted.
We have 6 cars battling for the lead, something you don't see in Formula 1, but we wish we did. Marcus Costa trying to come back after a scary incident at this point, last lap, but he stays in the grid for the meantime, staying put as he watches the 2 drivers in front duke it out for the glory. Toxic Tomato just hanging on in there, as well as Team BB8 and LRB. Edric's trying to close up as well, but he's not within DRS range. He's got to play catch up. His teammate is waiting ahead. So, 6 drivers coming around towards Young Cow for the 23rd time, I should say, in this race. And now, what has Riley Mackay got up his sleeve? He has DRS, but Rent has the more straight line speed. Is he using any of his energy? He's got 62% in the tank, as I see from my camera, and here he goes. He's going to challenge it again. No, is he not? No, he's decided not to challenge it. Quite interesting for Riley Mackay, maybe because he was fearing that he would be overtaken again, considering that happened several times before earlier in the race. Marcus Costa sets up a possibility. Riley Mackay sets up an even bigger one, going into the inside and back into the lead here at Sao Paulo with 13 laps to go.
Brilliant overtake again from Mackie, but I doubt that will be the last of it. Whilst we were watching the battle for the lead, I can tell you the drivers in the top 6, and Tom is out of the race. He's in the pits again, and that's his race over, but at least he's not causing any trouble out on circuit. So out of the top 6 drivers, the 2 that have got the most ERS in store right now are the ones in 5th and 6th, and Costa spun!
Oh! Costa spun! Costa spun and he's fallen down out of the top 10, and this is a disaster for Ferrari. And again, when is it never a disaster for Ferrari? So, all of a sudden, the 3 now become 2. And Toxic Tomato is not even close and is in fact being battled by BB8, who takes 3rd place. But now Red coming back! No, he's going to do the same trick. He's going to wait it out. He knows what's coming next. It's the Curva do Sol to the Decidio del Lago for Renz, and he's going to set up a move, quarter of a second behind. But here he comes. Is he not going to challenge? No, I don't think he's close enough. No, he's holding on. He's playing the strategic long game.
But if he waits, that'll allow Tyne and Toxic Tomato and Co to close in on the top 2. So if Renz is going to get through on Mackie, what do you do now if you're Renz? Do you go for it, or do you sort of risk allowing Tyne and Toxic Tomato to get close to you and make a pass on you, as opposed to you making a pass on the leader?
That is the burning question. So, Time BB8 trying to close up on the 2 leading cars, Riley Mackay and Renz, who have been duking it out all race. They have lost one. It looks like Marcus Costa, he needs to make a massive gain if he wants to get anywhere near where he once was. He was pole position, but at this rate will not be scoring a single point as Ren closes up to Riley Mackay once again, setting up a move for the Decidia del Lago perhaps, making their way through the Cineres, out of the Curva del Sol, the long Curva del Sol. Through we go. Can he set up a move? He looks too far out, but remember, this is Renz. He's got massive straight line speed, but he doesn't even come close this time. Riley in a good spot as we speak. He's got some breathing space from Renz, but that may be a little short-lived, because we know what Rand and Tyne are capable of. We've seen it in past seasons of this sport, and we'll see it again. You ain't heard the last of these drivers. They're going to be staying put, and they're going to be challenging Riley in these final laps of the race.
Starting to see a few more drivers getting track limit penalties now. This could come crucial at the end of the race. None of the leaders have got a time penalty of any sort yet, but I just wonder if we may start to see a few more mistakes happening. Well, I'll tell you what, Renz is well under threat now from the Red Bull of Tyne, and we could see a change for second place.
We could. It's a quarter of a second now. What is going on with Renz? Has he got some sort of problem? Well, it looks like he's saving his energy for the crucial moments of this race, the end of the race, and he somehow has caught back up to Riley Mackay. These drivers separated by 4 tenths, give or take a few hundredths. And now Renz is back behind Riley Mackay, who's still in the driving seat by the looks of it. And we still, once again, have a massive field combining sans Marcus Costa, who spun earlier in the middle section of the track. Edrix, by the way, trying to catch up to Pedro Vasquez in the Alfa Romeo, who started in 13th, and Edrix started in 15th.
Getting more and more intense, this battle for the lead now. I just can't take my eyes off it. I don't think anyone would at this moment in time. It's the first race of the season, so they may see a little bit more rustiness from the drivers as they come round to complete yet another lap. Block running in 9th position. Edrix 8th. Vasquez up to 7th now. Daniela's races come back to his window as we watch Renz go for the lead.
And there it is, back into the lead goes the Mercedes driver, ahead of Riley Mackay and 10BB8, and Toxic Tomato holding out at the back as well. Will there be a response from Riley Mackay heading into the Decidia del Lago, and there's a retirement? It is, and it's a safety car. This will pause the action. It's Msapala. He's had an incident at the second corner. That's the Senna S, and that is the end of his day. So we're going to get a bit of a breather for once. Not much chopping and changing by the looks like as the cars disappeared, as they were all close enough anyway, and they were on the same tyres, so I'd expect they'd all be going along the same lines in terms of strategy. Oh dear, that was Moustache nearly losing, getting shaved off there by the safety car. Oh, shaved off, Moustache? Oh no.
Yeah, well, you had to say it there, didn't you?
Sorry.
Going back to the Mr. crash, he's gone quite a long way into the corner, into the barrier. Has he come together with someone or had a wheel disconnection or something? Because we don't see drivers crash into the barrier at that particular corner, if I'm honest with you. Unless you're sort of close to the barrier anyway, as you go through the Curva del Sol. Who is going to go for the pits then? Well, Renz is not waiting around. Who is taking a gamble then? I think if you're someone around the back, you may think it may be worth a gamble.
Yeah, I think they're all coming in. And Christian Block has received a 5-second penalty for a collision with Edrix. Unfortunately, for some of these drivers, they're going to be forced to double stack, so this may shuffle up the order. So taking it for the drivers who were behind their teammate was a big risk, and probably a risk they had no choice but to take. No drivers have stayed out, by the way, by the looks of it, except Mohammed, who hasn't pit. Actually, he has just pit. He just pit, so he's going to actually gain a couple positions here. But it's Renz ahead of Riley Mackay, ahead of BB8, ahead of Toxic Tomato, ahead of LRB, ahead of Danielle, ahead of Vasquez. Edrex, Costa is up to 9th now. Cherno, Lickle Blocks, Christian Block, who had a penalty, loses a few positions. Marios, Mohammed gains a couple positions after he already pit, but he may lose them considering he's on the slower tyre. Spaniat and Moustache is your order, and we're going to have, I have to say, 6 laps left of this race, or maybe 7 if we're a little lucky, of this already intriguing first race of the brand new season 34 here at Premier Sim Gaming Leagues for PlayStation on F3, and the safety car is leading for the second time in this race. It is another Mercedes car, so Mercedes is a bit cheating, considering that they've got 3 cars.
Friends, just holding firm at the moment. We will go for another lap behind the safety car before it peels back in, and then we are looking at a 6-lap shootout to the finish.
6-lap shootout, that may make all the difference. It is the first race of the season, but you'd expect they'd all want to draw first blood in this, could be a long season. 11 races we're doing this season, just 11, so every race counts, unlike Formula 1 where some of the races count. It's quite sadly, I know, but that's the way it goes, I'm afraid. There's nothing we can do about it. As much as we complain, there's nothing we can do. It's not in our hands. So it looks like we will be restarting after this lap. Mohammed is pit again, so all those pit positions he gained were a waste, but at a premium, in return he does have newer tyres.
Yeah, so you'll have 1 lap less of fresh set of the soft compound that he'll be on now to get him to the end. So it's pretty much do or die time. I know it's the first race of the season, but every driver will want to start the season very strongly, particularly those who are going to be in genuine contention for the title. The question is, who will it be? Will it be Renz? Will it be Mackie? Or will it be someone that haven't quite been in the action today, but could do in other races? We go to Bahrain next week, and then the next 3 rounds are over at Silverstone, Qatar, and Austria. The remaining 6 rounds are still yet to be confirmed. So do stay tuned on the social media platforms on where the PSGL is going to be racing at this season. And we have got the confirmation from Race Control that the safety car is going to be coming in at the end of this lap.
Safety car coming in at the end of this lap, and Renz has it all to lose and all to play for, though. He's going to get us going away with 6 laps to go, and Riley itching to get on with it. He wants this lead as much as pretty much anyone in this, or maybe more. It's just way in. Renz has got a foot on the throttle at the pit line. Here we go, 6 laps to go at Interlagos, and it is Renz that leads us away. Riley in second, and already Toxic Tomato attempting to make some moves into the first corner, and there's a spinner there, and it's Costa again. Costa has spun around. It's just not his day. He's went from hero to zero, and he's in the back. And now BB-8 and Riley Mackay hounding up on Ren. Ren is still ahead though, and got a bit of breathing space. That's 4 attempts as Marcus Costa's day just goes from bad to worse. And there's a move for 13th between Edrix and Moustache. And it looks like the winner of that battle is the Edrix in the AlphaTauri. So the leaders come through the slowest part of the course, through Pinheiro, through Bico de Pato. Sorry, my Portuguese is not that good. And Renz, through he comes, through Young Cow for the 31st time, as there's a couple shuffling back. Christian Block, oh, and Mohammed has had a spin out of Magulio. That is not what you want at this crucial part of the race. Anyway, here we go, the leaders come through for 5 laps to go. It is Ren, and looks like BB-8 trying to close up on Riley Mackay, as Renz has set the fastest lap. That's a bonus point in the bag if he can hold on to it. So 17 points could be going his way. A perfect start to his season. Christian Block has made his way up to 12th, and what is Christian Block doing? He's completely cutting the track. What's this? Christian Block has completely cut the corner. I don't know what is going through his mind. Something must have happened which completely outraged him.
He's got a broken front wing. He's got a broken front wing. He has.
I just seen it, and Costa has effectively given up, and Ferrari are out of this race as the leaders come through Pinheiro for the 32nd time. Riley Mackay starting to run out of time, and so is every driver trying to beat Renz to the checkered flag. Through to Magurio we go, through to Young Cow we go, and the time is ebbing away, and it makes Renz look more confident that he is going to be the first winner of the season.
He is, and Mackie got a kick of oversteers. He got the power down on the exit of Yonsao, and he's not going to be close enough to have a go on this occasion. But the DRS is enabled now, so when they go onto the rest of Aposta, he'll be able to use it.
He will indeed, and he is still 3.5 tenths despite that little mistake out of Yonsao. Here he goes. He's going to have the DRS. He is faster out of this corner. He feels more comfortable in these tyres. Here he goes for the lead once again, and into the lead he goes. Renz has no challenge, but that's at what cost? 10 BB8 is right on his gearbox now. Can he close up in the next few laps? Can Renz get the lead back in the next few laps before the checkered flag falls? You better stay tuned. You better not change that channel, because this is all about to break loose. LRB is in a battle between Danielle and Toxic Tomato. Danielle's had a fantastic recovery, by the way. He had a spin earlier, and he's brought back up to 6th as the leaders pile through the third sector now. Yunkao, once again, the corner that won Lewis Hamilton his first World Championship in 2008 under bizarre circumstances. Now, speaking of bizarre circumstances, what if we have a freeway battle into this corner? Here's Renz looking for the lead and takes it back once again. And Toxic Tomato loses position to LRB. They're having their own freeway battle. Toxic Tomato loses position to Danielle. It just keeps going on and on and on. Tom!
It's going to go right to the very end. We're in the dying embers of this race now. Who's going to come out on top here at the Autódromo Jose Carlos Pache here in Interlagos? An historical circuit. It's a nostalgic one. It's a fan's favourite, and we are all loving the action that we are seeing here this evening. The clouds have been gathering in, but the rain seems to be missing the circuit. And Renz seems to be in the driving seat, but it's not over yet, as Cherno gets a time penalty for spinning the pit lane. And he's retired in the pit lane, so he's out of the way. Now, what about his Mercedes teammate Renz? Can he hold on for the race victory?
17 points on the line, and the first win of the season. Riley Mackay and BB8 couldn't be closer than ever. They need to catch up, though. This is not enough. They're going to have 2 laps to go as they cross the timing beam. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Renz feeling the pressure because he knows Riley Mackay is right there. And now he's back into the lead, but will he hold on to it coming out of Desidio and Lago? I'm too flustered. I can't remember my corners. Here we go then. Renz is going to have a revenge attack, but he's got to watch out. BB8's behind as there's an incident. No, that's Cherno backing off, sorry. But this battling is only helping LRB and Danielle get more involved. If these 3 make a cataclysmic mistake, we could have LRB and Danielle on the podium.
He could do, and the Red Bull of Tyne is just biding his time, although he's only going to have 1 shot at it, if not 2. Where is he going to do it? If he's going to make the overtake, he's going to have to breeze past Renz, but Renz will be desperate to close in on Mackie and get back through. Now, if he's going to do it at Desidio Lago, he better make sure he keeps time behind him, otherwise the chance of the race win is gone.
All these drivers had a lot of energy in the tank. We're on to final lap. Here we go. And Riley is leading by 6 tenths. Looks unassailable at this point, but don't count anything out as BB8 trying to have a look at Renz, but he can't get it. Danielle trying to have a look at LRB. He can't get it. This may be the last opportunity for Renz to win the race if he can't get it. Here he comes. Time BB8 right behind him. To the Desidio del Lago we go. Danielle gets past LRB for 4th place. BB8 right behind Ren. But it's not over. 1/3 of a second separates 1st and 3rd. They cannot be any closer. This has went a whole way through and has never changed, and it all comes down to the final lap. Riley just has to hold on. Riley is using up all his energy. Rent has way more energy. This might be a freeway fight to the finish. Through the final corners we come. To Yunkao we go. This may be the crucial part of the race. And it looks like Riley will try and hold on with all his life as Ren and BB8 hound at him, heading to the line. Can he hold on to the line? It's going to be close. It's going to be. It's Rens! Rens wins at the line. You could not write the script any more dramatic than that. Rennes wins, and it's the first race of the season, and it felt like the last. Rennes wins an absolute epic. They had fight, nip and tuck throughout the entirety of this race, but Rennes, at the absolute last moment, has won the first race of the season.
Hats off to him for not giving up there, right to the very end. I was watching his energy there. He had 15% more energy than the McLaren ahead of him, and he had the DRS advantage going to the line. So Rennes timed it absolutely perfectly to beat into the line by 0.04 of a second. Amazing, amazing finish to the race. And Time will be happy with a podium too. But I can imagine we're going to be seeing more of this in the races to come. What a season we've got in store in F3 in the PSGL in the PlayStation category.
Please help me. I can't go through this again. It's just round one. So there you go. There is the result. Rennes, Riley Mackay, BB8, your top three, separated by under 3.5 tenths. It could not be any closer than that. And Rennes gets the fastest lap as well, so he gets a full docket, assuming these are the official results. Danielle gets the fourth from fifth place. Good recovery drive as well. And ignore these points. These are wrong. They are 17, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So just ignore this unless you're making your own table of point systems. Lickleblocks was from 18th for 8th. Great drive from him. Myros from 10th, 16th to 10th. And there's the drivers that failed to finish, including Marcus Costa, who started on pole. Well, imagine if he was in this fight. What would the result be? There you go. Rennes is your winner.
And well and truly deserved. And hats off to Mackay for taking him all the way, because that was an epic finish to the opening round of the season. And I think those that had been sitting behind will be desperate for the next race to come, Logan, in Bahrain next week. It would have been Las Vegas at first, but recent news had come through that the PlayStation category was going to race in Bahrain instead, due to circumstances that are out of our control.
Yeah. I think that's the closest finish I've ever seen, and the craziest, and the closest margin I've ever seen. And I don't think you can't make it up. You just can't make it up.
Well, it's been brilliant, and I know I missed qualifying earlier due to my travel problems, but I managed to get back in time, and I'm so glad I did not miss anything from that race. Hats off to the Mercedes of Rennes and our podium finishers Mackay and Tyne. And let's not forget Marcus Costa as well. He had been in contention for a lot of it before his melodies later on. But he'll be back. There'll be more from him in the near future. So all we can say, Logan, is I think... Are we doing interviews now, are we?
I mean, do you want to? It's totally up to you. Because I want to hear from both these drivers that this was the ending to end all endings, and it's only just begun.
Do you know what then? Let's hear from them, because I'm here to sort of find out what was going through their minds at the time and how intense was it from their point of view. We'll give it a few minutes, and then if they come on, great. If not, then we'll just we'll wrap it up there.
Right, I'm gonna invite them. Sorry, my throat is gone. My throat is actually gone. 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully that gets through to them. I don't know what questions to ask them to be thinking. Gosh, I really should have ordered a new defibrillator.
That was remarkable, wasn't it? And I'm really actually looking forward to Bahrain to see how they'll pan out. It'll be a different circuit, of course, but yeah, that was epic to watch.
It was Imagine if that was the final race of the season and it all came down. That would just
That would have been something, wouldn't it?
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in an entire. I've never seen anything close to that in my all this time of commentary, honestly, because I knew it was going to be some race, but I didn't think it was going to come down to the wire.
It was very much a typical IndyCar style finish to the race itself, and you know, you just couldn't write it, could you? Although, given the nature of Interlagos, you kind of could, because you knew where the DRS zones were going to be, and the drivers behind were going to be using it to their advantage, and Ren's just had enough in store to beat Mackay to the line.
Yeah. It is the ending that everyone wants, and everyone got it. I think we can all say this has been probably the greatest season opener of all time. Probably wrong. Oh yeah, there was a F2 PC came down to the line as well. Tom?
Yep. Yeah, I'm still here.
I just didn't hear a response. And here he is, the winner by slim margins, sir. Slim margins, very slim margins. But it's still a win nevertheless. What a fight. Honestly, I've never seen a fight go so long and end in such the closest finish imaginable. So explain everything that happened. Gosh. It makes me wish it's the real F1 in all honesty, but you know, there's not much we can do about that. If it was, I think everyone would get a heart attack, and we don't want to think of the repercussions that would have. But there you go, the first win of the season, but remember, it's a long season, 11 races, and you made this win really count. Your plans for the rest of the season? Because we only know the first 5 races. Oh. Oh, good luck. So I guess you could say... So I guess you really needed this win. Oh. I'm probably shaking. In fact, I've got a defibrillator right next to me. I'm getting old. I'm 24, guys. Come on.
Well, he's not as old as me, Rans. Don't worry.
Sorta. Yeah, to be fair, I'm not sure I'm really supposed to say this, but my manager at work was actually younger than me. Funnily enough, he's 23. I won't say who else he is because to prevent his identity, because I don't want these words to clash, because it'd be a little bit of a mess. Thinking, what are you doing commentating here? But anyway, yeah, I've run out of things to say. My mind just thinking of how I screamed your name across the line. That's probably going to live in my head now for the rest of my days. But yeah, well done, man. Fantastic way to win. Should we get questions from Mr. Cairns?
Yeah, I was just going to say, with the game cycle as it is for this season coming up, how would you sort of compare the experience you've had so far to last year's game cycle? How has it been for you from your perspective? Do you have a sort of a favourite circuit that you enjoy either practicing or racing on? Yeah, I'm sure it's a brilliant circuit itself. Obviously, given my sort of historic background in terms of Zandvoort itself, obviously the current configuration and the previous configurations it had in like the 60s, the 70s, and 80s, it's a brilliant circuit overall, and and we look forward to obviously racing there at some point in the near future. It may be this season in the PSGL or the season after, I don't know yet. But I'm sure there's some other circuits that you're looking forward to. Obviously, it was meant to be Las Vegas next week, but that obviously has been changed to Bahrain. Then we've got Silverstone, you've got Qatar, and you've got Austria. How do you feel you'll get on throughout the campaign then? Because I think you mentioned there's like an absence or something during the course of the season. But where's your target? Where are you sort of looking to finish at the end of the season? Excellent. And I think that's all from me as far as I'm concerned. So all I can say to you, Renz, is best of luck with whatever it is that you are doing, and best of luck to your season ahead.
Yep. See you later. Well, I'm not getting much sleep tonight.
And given the journey I've had back, but it won't be too long before I get some sleep. So, but yeah, it's been some journey. It's been a good weekend, a good week for me anyway. I've enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You couldn't open the season any better than that. Renz wins at the line in a photo finish over Riley Mackay. You could not get any closer, and it might be like this all season, and God help me if it is. You do not want to miss, even if it's F3, you do not want to miss any of the action that comes in the coming weeks, because it will be pretty much non-stop. Every tier on the Monday, the Wednesday, and the Thursday looks like will be streamed on YouTube. You do not want to miss, so it'll be a long binge watch still. But yeah, I've been Otaku Logan, and he's been Tom Cairns, and we did have Harvey for a second. Thanks for filling me in for about 5 minutes. Sorry. Didn't think you'd be coming back tonight that early, Tom. Sorry.
It's absolutely fine. I knew there was a job for me to be doing, and I did my best given the circumstances with my travel.
Oh, you nailed it.
It's been an epic race tonight, and we couldn't thank you enough for tuning in to watch. And well done to our drivers for keeping it clean. Very much. I know there's been some collisions, but I think given it's the first race of the season, you have to kind of expect some signs of rustiness. But hopefully next week in Bahrain, it should be pretty much as spectacular. So I'll close it out from my point of view, and I'll let Logan finish his remaining words.
And thank you to our sponsors at GT Omega for sponsoring this stream and all the streams here on PSGL, our proud title sponsor. Remember to check out their site, their peripherals, their entire shop, and remember the code PSGL for 5% off any purchases on GT Omega. That's been the first race of the season. God knows what's going to happen in the second race. It may be as close as this one, but you better tune in to the enthralling action that's about to come your way for the next 10 weeks. So that's it. I've been Otaku Logan, he has been Tom Cairns, and I bid you all a very good night. Thank you for watching. See you all.